Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Alright, so I'm going to try to film this video really quick because I like to talk, I like to ramble, so this video, I don't want it to be 20 minutes long, but you know, it just might be. It's going to be a story time video, and what was the video called? It was first time tag video, I think it was called, or my first time, and it's like a tag video, whatever, you guys know what I mean. In that video I mentioned like the question had something to do with like your first kiss, and I mentioned my first kiss was with an older guy that I had met up with at a movie theater, and my parents didn't know about it or anything like that. So that's the guy I'm going to be talking about in this video, and for the sake of this video we're going to call him Thomas. Alright, so let me just kind of give you guys a little bit of information so you guys can hopefully understand everything, get the whole picture. Alright, so I met Thomas online because during this time in my life, I was 15 years old, I was a freshman in high school, I no self-confidence, no self-esteem, blah blah blah, thought like I was just nothing basically. And so I would go online, I would talk to guys, you know, to get that validation, like they told me I'm pretty and it made me feel good about myself, blah blah blah. So that's where I met him online, and I'm not going to say the site, but it was, nowadays it's pretty much like a hookup site. It wasn't that bad when I was on it, but maybe it was, I don't know. But anyways, so that's where I met him, and we talked for a while, and then he would always like be like, I want to see you, like we should go hang out or anything. And I knew my parents were gonna be like, your ass is 15 and he is 19. You met him online, like that's just not gonna happen. And so I was told him like, no, like we can't, like, you know, I'm young. And obviously eventually I did end up meeting up with him at the movie theater, and after that I felt just bad about myself. Not to mention, like, that's like fucking stupid of me, okay? Like, I could have been like kidnapped, I could have been like sold into like sex slavery, like, you know, like all these bad things could have happened to me. Like, what the fuck was I thinking, like meeting up with essentially a stranger, like, because I wasn't friends with him on Facebook or anything like that. It was just strictly on this website, and then we would text. And, you know, I could have died. Anyway, so after that, I felt really bad because I hate lying. Like, I just hate lying in general, but I especially hate lying to my parents. And I didn't want them to find out. I didn't want them to be disappointed with me, upset with me, anything like that. I felt bad. So even to this day, I don't lie. I don't like liars, and I don't lie. I just say what I have to say, and that's that. So I like told him, I'm like, no, like, you know, I can't meet up with you, blah blah. And then he really started pressuring me to send him like racy photos, and then he wanted to meet up with me so we could have sex. Now mind you, I'm 15, I'm like a little virgin, like I don't, like, no, it's not gonna happen. And it was just, I was starting to kind of realize that these guys on here, they ultimately want only one thing, and I just was not comfortable with that. And so I told him, I'm like, no, like, it's not gonna happen. And he started texting me less and less and less. And so I just kind of, I was like, even though like I knew that maybe he wasn't a great guy, I was still like a little hurt that, you know, he wasn't like texting me regularly, or even calling me. And so I figured he was probably talking to other girls, and I just had to do a little digging because of who I am. So I found his Facebook, and it wasn't like that hard to find his Facebook, okay? But yeah, I found it, and I went back to when we first started talking. He was on Facebook saying he was single, blah blah, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, because like, you know, we were just talking. But then as I like looked at like the more recent months, he had been talking to all these other girls, and then at that time he was dating some girl who was pregnant. Now, I felt bad because even though I didn't know he was dating, you know, somebody, I still was talking to him, like, you know what I mean? And I felt bad, and she was pregnant, like, and I honestly to this day I don't know if that was his kid or not. I confronted him about it, and he was like, you know, that's not cool, like, what, you know? And so he really didn't have much to say, and kind of turned it to where I was in the wrong because I wouldn't ever meet up with him, I wouldn't ever have sex with him, blah blah blah. And he, like, we were actually on the phone, and I remember, like, I was just upset because, you know, I just found out this guy's like dating this pregnant girl, like, you know, And I just remember I was crying and he was laughing because I was crying. Like, this is the kind of guy that, like, I was dealing with, okay? And so I just told him, like, don't ever contact me again. Like, I don't want to hear from you again. And so I just hung up on him and, like, deleted his number, like, deleted him from that, like, website. And I just kind of moved on with my life. And then just kind of, like, it was probably towards, like, the end of freshman year for me. He just started, like, randomly texting me again. And I was just not having it. And I told him, because at first, you know, I had deleted his number, so I didn't know who the number, like, was. And I was like, who is this? And, you know, he's like, it's Thomas. And, you know, I was just like, no, like, leave me alone, like, all this stuff. And he's like, oh, I just want to see how you were doing, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, is he still dating this girl? Because I kind of felt like he probably had broken up with this girl and was probably looking for, like, a rebound. And that's pretty much what it was. Him and that girl, they were not together. She had her baby. It came out fully white. He was black. So I probably wasn't his, but who knows. And yeah, and so, like, they were separated, I guess, and broken up, whatever. And so he's pretty much looking for a rebound, and that just, no, I was so angry, and I didn't even entertain him. Like, I just told him, no, leave me the fuck alone, and I just ignored him again, and I blocked him on, like, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. Alright, and that's honestly, like, the last I thought I would ever hear from him, or ever, like, see, or, you know what I mean? Like, just, that would be, like, our last ever contact. Well, the story wouldn't be that good if it had been. Alright, so I believe it was like the end of my junior year in high school, and I got on Facebook and I had a message, and it wasn't, like, from him or anything, it was just from one of my friends. And then I noticed that on Facebook there was, like, another, like, folder, I guess you can say, for messages. I guess maybe, like, messages, like, Facebook considers, like, spam or something like that. I don't know. I was like, oh, that's weird. And so I just clicked on it just to see if I had any messages or whatever. I had a message. And at first, I was like, who is this person? Because I didn't recognize the name, like, at all. And they didn't have a picture of themselves. Their picture actually said something like, it was like a quote. And it said something about how, like the number of the planets, and then, like, the number of oceans, like, the number of countries, but I had, like, the honor to meet you, or some stupid shit like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, this is weird. So, and I'm, like, just like, what the fuck? I click on it, and as the page is loading, like, I'm thinking of the name, and I'm like, that is Thomas's middle name and his last name. Oh, hell no. Let me tell you guys, he had made, because I had him still blocked on my Facebook, his actual Facebook account. To find me, he made an entire new Facebook just so he could add me and message me. Now, this particular message, because I didn't know about the spam folder, I didn't know that Facebook did that, you know. It was, like, months old. It was, like, 3 or 4 months old. So, like, it had been a real minute, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I honestly wish I still had the paragraph that he wrote me today, because I would love to read it to you guys. But I don't remember, obviously, word for word what it said, but it was something along the lines of, you know, he missed me, he wanted to be with me, he wanted to see how I was, and that he loved me. I mean, there was more to it, you know, but that was the general essence of it, I guess. And I was feeling particularly sassy on this day. So I messaged him back, and I was like, what? You know, I was just like, I don't really, like, because, okay, in this, he didn't say who he was, like, you know, like, hey, this is Thomas, blank, blank, you know? It just was like, hey, baby girl, I miss you, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, is this actually him, or is it not him? And so I messaged him, and I was like, okay, like, who is this? Like, I, like, think I might know who you are, but I'm not quite sure, you know, like, the fuck. So I sent that message to him, and then I go creep on this profile, and yeah, it was creepy for fucking sure. Alright, so, like, he didn't have any of his, like, personal friends or family on this. It was just strictly girls with my same first name and last name. Yeah, he pretty much added anyone who had my same name, my same full name, so he could find me. Like, that is fucking creepy. And like his statuses like were all about me and like, oh, this is, you know, I gotta take this chance, like, you know, she's the one for me. And I'm like, you don't even know me. Plus I was like a child when we met, and like now I'm older obviously during this time, and like I'm like, this is fucking creepy, okay? Like I was like basically a child. I was underage. I was 15. This dude was fucking 19 at the time, trying to get me to have sex with him. Are you fucking kidding me? And so I just kind of was like, he's not even probably gonna message me back, because at this point I know for sure it is Thomas. And I'm like, he's probably not even gonna message me back, you know. And I just kind of, because I was on my my laptop at the time, so I just get off of it and I go do my thing, and then my phone bings and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he had texted me, or not texted, but he had messaged me back on Facebook. Now, the thing I find weird about this, okay, his message was months old, okay? Wouldn't he have to be logged in? Because at the time, the whole, like, Facebook Messenger app, that was not a thing. You could just actually fucking check your messages on Facebook, you know, instead of having a fucking separate app. It angers me. But anyway, like, okay, so it was months old. Like, he would have to be logged in to that fucking account to see that I messaged him back. That is creepy, okay? And like I said, it wasn't his actual Facebook profile. It was just this one he made so he could fucking try to find me. That is creepy, okay? And he messaged me back and was like, this is Thomas. Like, you know, I miss you, blah, blah, blah. And I want to be with you. Like, we should meet up. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't. You know, and I told him, I'm like, leave me alone. Like, this is creepy. Like, I don't want anything to do with you. And, you know, he's like, I just want you to know how good I'm doing. And, you know, he's fucking, I don't know, he said something about how he wanted to own a restaurant, but then something about him doing, like, stand-up comedy, I don't know. Get this. As he's telling me all this stuff, he has the fucking nerve to tell me, you know, like, keep in mind, he's saying he loves me, he wants to be with me, he misses me, blah. He has the nerve, or maybe the stupidity, I'm not quite sure, to tell me he is dating somebody. What? Like, you're fucking, like, hitting on me, you're trying to get back with me, blah, 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 and you actually have a girlfriend? Like, are you fucking kidding me? What? So I was like, no, bro, like, no, it's not gonna happen. So, pretty much told him to go fuck himself, leave me the fuck alone. I blocked the Facebook profile, and I just kind of move on with my life. Now, at this particular time, I had a Kik account. If you don't know what Kik is, or the Kik app, to be more accurate, the Kik app. If you don't know what that is just basically like an instant messenger texting kind of app, I guess. And I don't have it now. This was many years ago. I don't know how, he somehow fucking found me on there and was messaging me on there. Like, boy was not, like, stopping. He was trying. And it was, you know, he was like, please, I just want a second chance, blah, blah, blah. And no, I blocked him on there, and no. And hopefully that is the last time I hear from him. I mean, it's been years now, okay? But it was fucking creepy. And to this day, I don't know how he found me on the Kik app. I don't know how he even knew to think, like, you know, maybe she has a Kik app. Like, that is weird as fuck to me. If you guys have had any similar stories like this, let me know down below, because it's kind of funny to me now, but like, damn, at the time I was honestly kind of creeped out and like looking over my shoulder like for the rest of like that time, because I was like freaked the fuck out. He was like just trying so hard to like get in contact with me, and he like just wanted my number and everything like that, and it was not gonna happen at all. But that is it for the storytime video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And let me know if you guys want me to do more story times like this. And don't forget to check the description box for all of my playlists. And I love you all. Thank you so much for watching my video. And hopefully I will see you in my next one.